in 1977, I wasn't here yet, I came the next year, the New York Times published an article entitled "Memphis Seeks to Restore Its Status." The story described how Memphis stagnated while other southern cities like Atlanta and Houston grew and prospered.
Yeah, Joe, the Times interviewed advertising executive John Malmo, never one to hold back his opinion. And tonight's We the People special report, Action News 5's Joyce Peterson sits down with Malmo again, nearly half a century later, for his take now.
In 1977, the New York Times called Memphis a battered but resilient cotton capital, a city that struggled through the late 1960s and early 1970s, her downtown stagnating, her civic pride battered. Interviewed for that article nearly 50 years ago,
everything is always to help downtown.
Memphis advertising legend John Malmo.
And it doesn't work.
The Times article touted Memphis's striking new downtown mall, the longest in the world, it said. The 10-block Mid-America Mall along Main Street featured a 6-story tall water fountain, modern sculpture, and downtown stores that would never be able to compete with new suburban shopping malls.
The mall was going to make a huge difference. Well, it didn't make any difference. Mud Island was going to make a difference. It didn't make any difference.
Malmo was chairman of the Parks Division when the Mud Island tourist attraction was conceived. The New York Times called him exuberant when he told the paper Mud Island is likely the most valuable 43 acres of undeveloped real estate in America. And it's ours, he said. Today, Malmo confirms arguments took place in Mayor Wyeth Chandler's office over the design of Mud Island, the $31 million price tag that would balloon to more than $60 million, and the cost of maintenance.
We thought that it should reflect the Mark Twain Mississippi River, not a timeless pile of bricks. What was done with Mud Island was a mistake because it was built smack dab in the middle of the worst inflationary period in the history of the United States.
Malmo, good friend and special advisor to Mayor Chandler, mayor of Memphis from 1972 to 1982, says the movers and shakers made critical errors during those years.
In the 70s and 80s, city leadership made some big mistakes by annexations. The reason for the annexations were to keep the city white. The white city council and the white mayors did not want the city to become majority black.
At age 91, John Malmo has the gift of old age to speak this honestly, though the marketing genius has always spoken his mind.
What do you think Memphis needs most? More lawyers or more air conditioning men?
His More Tech commercials convinced a new generation that trade school is a great option. A generation too young to remember that Malmo ran the advertising for Mayor Willie Harrington's first 2 campaigns and wrote his inauguration speech. Malmo's take on modern Memphis politics?
50 years ago and 60 years ago, almost all decisions that were made by city leadership were affected so much by race. Today, they are too.
This ad man's favorite ad campaign isn't one he created.
I thought the most brilliant thing I have ever seen in the city was "I am a man."
Malmo became a founding board member of the National Civil Rights Museum in 1991. The same year, he sold his ad agency, built into the largest in the Mid-South. Entrepreneurs, he says, make a city grow.
I think nobody can do more for a community than create jobs. And in a 25-year period, I provided jobs for more than 350 people.
In 1977, the New York Times said Memphis shows signs of at last emerging as an advancing Mid-South city. Its most famous marketing executive ready again to pitch all that's positive about this gritty little city on the mighty Mississippi.
Memphis is a generous city. That may be the most distinguishing factor about Memphis is that Memphians are generous. They will help each other. I think there's nothing phony about Memphis.
In Memphis, Joyce Peterson, Action News 5.